This video ain't gonna piss anybody off. It's gonna piss a good amount of people off. What is up, football fans? Yes, this video isn't targeted just to the Miami Dolphins fans, even though literally I'm wearing a Miami Dolphins hoodie. You got all this Miami Dolphin memorabilia behind me. This is a Miami Dolphin channel, but every once in a while I throw in some NFL stuff, right? During the season, I do picks. Before the season starts, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to see if anything changes. But the draft just happened, so you kind of get an idea of what these teams look like, even though more free agents will be added, and then you got all this. That's why, like I said, before the season starts, I'm going to do this again. But I thought, let's do a tier list. NFL 2023 tier list. And I thought it'd be fun. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get a lot of angry people in my comment section. How dare you take my team and make them think that they're doo-doo. Where am I going to put myself? Here or here? Or up here? Or down here? I'm going to put myself right here. So we're going to jump into this. Like you can see, there's a ton of ads on this site, and it just is what it is. But you got Super Bowl favorites, these Super Bowl contenders, playoff teams, potential wild cards, missing playoff teams, mediocre at best, young but intriguing, and number one pick contention. So the way that this works, let me move myself up. I'm going to go all by team. Just unfortunate, the Dolphins are number two. Going team by team, tell you what I think, give you my opinion. I'll give you a little background on why I put them where they put them, and then there you go. So, let's go. We got the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to put them, see, they got Derek Carr. They're in the NFC. They're in the NFC South. I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna say they're a playoff team. I think Derek Carr is gonna turn his. Wild card, potential wild cards. It's so hard. They could win the division, which makes them a playoff team, but the NFC is just not as good. So wild card. I'll make them playoff team. I'm trying to think of the other. Yeah, I'm going to make a playoff team. Just because I really quickly, if you saw my eyes rolling around in my head, tried to see what the other teams are in that division. And I think with Derek Carr, it makes him the best team. Michael Thomas, all that good stuff. So I think they win their division as of right now. Again, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers fans, this is as of right now. Things could change. Like I said, I'm going to do it before the season starts. I think they win their division. I think they're a playoff team. Throwing Derek Carr in there. Miami Dolphins. I know nothing about that team. I'm a liar. Playoff team. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to be pissed. If they don't make the playoffs, people are going to get fired. Plain and simple. Side note, love seeing the black. I think it looks really cool if you could tell. I have it, the black helmet. Looks really good. Dolphins are a playoff team. They got Vic Fangio, Jalen Ramsey. The offense was sixth ranked in the NFL last year. Tua's just got to stay healthy. And I'm going to do a quarterback tier list too, so don't worry about that. Dolphins are a playoff team. Super Bowl contender? I'm not saying no. Nor, obviously, they're not favorites if they're not contenders. But the Dolphins are definitely a super playoff team. The Baltimore Ravens. See, it's going to start getting hard. I'm going to have a lot of playoff teams. I can only have 14. So we'll see how this all goes. Baltimore Ravens, they got Lamar back. They bring in a ton of talent. Odell, ton of talent. They're a playoff team. They made the playoffs last year. They're a playoff team now. Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl contenders. Putting them a little bit above. They've been to the Super Bowl. They've been to the AFC Championship game. They added Brown to their offensive line. They still have their guys. Yes, they're dealing with the Mixon situation, but I think they're still Super Bowl contenders, being that they went to the Super Bowl and then they went to the AFC Championship game last year. There you go. The Denver Broncos getting Sean Payton. Russell Wilson looked like hot garbage last year, but you're bringing Sean Payton. Potential wild card team. because I think the Kansas City Chiefs are still winning that division, plain and simple. So they're a wild card team. But Doug, you put but that's because they better win they better get in the playoffs. There's a potential wild card team, which means there's an option of them not making it. From what I'm picking up on it, the New York Giants, they are like the Dolphins in a very hard division. That's what she said. But the Giants made the playoffs last year. I think the Giants got better. I'm going to say they are a playoff team. The Minnesota Vikings, I'm putting them at missing the playoff team. I think that they are going to regress a little bit, but I think still having Justin Jefferson and still having Kirk Cousins and all that stuff, I think that they'll still be very competitive. They made a lot of, revamp on that defense. I think they're still going to be competitive, but I think they're just going to miss the playoffs. That's what I think there. The L.A. Rams, I'm putting them mediocre at best. They mortgaged their future to win that Super Bowl, and that's what it's all about, is winning the Super Bowl. But now they didn't have any picks. They didn't have any money. So I think they'll be okay. They're not going to suck, but like I said, mediocre at best. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield, no more Tom Brady. I'm going to say mediocre at best. No, I'm going to say missing the playoffs. I'm putting a little bit above mediocre. I think that, Baker will get him some wins, and I think having Mike Evans and still having, Godwin and that offensive line, I think they'll still be competitive, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But I do think they're a little bit better than mediocre. The Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions came off last year towards the end, started putting it together, beat the Packers, knocked them out of the playoffs. I'm going to put potential wild card for them. I like what they did in the draft, even though the players they took were good, and I like the players they took. Obviously, Jack Campbell, I wanted the Dolphins to take him, but I think they reached on him, but they still got good players. Goff is doing his thing, and, they got a good team right now, so they're potential wild cards. They have the potential to make the playoffs. Then you have the Chicago Bears, and Justin Fields had a very good second year, showed that his legs are incredibly dynamic. Now, can they protect him in the pocket and let him show that his arm is equally as dynamic? Made a bunch of additions, whether it's through the trades, whether it's through free agency. I'm also going to put them at potential wild card. I think they have the opportunity to get into the playoffs. Definitely. San Francisco treat. Sorry. The 49ers. They don't really have a quarterback. They're running with Brock Purdy. Did they add a quarterback? Yeah, they brought in Sam Darnold. Trey Lance looks like he's the odd man out. They're going to try to move on from him. I'm going to still say they're a playoff team. I still think they're competitive. I still think with CMC in there and their defense and Shanahan. I almost said Mike Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan. I think they got the Philadelphia Eagles. The flipping, flopping Philadelphia Eagles making moves left and right. They're Super Bowl favorites. You think that they would regress, and they didn't. The fracking Eagles. I said fracking. I didn't say a bad word. They're Super Bowl favorites. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you would think, they made it to the Super Bowl, literally put the perfect team around Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts gets paid. His contract is beautiful. Thing of beauty. Their GM is GM of the year. So you think, there's no way they could duplicate that. And all of a sudden, they duplicate it, and he has an equally as good team around him. So, to me, Super Bowl favorites. Las Vegas Raiders. Almost said Oakland. Las Vegas Raiders, they got Jimmy G. Lose Darren Waller. I'm still thinking they're middle of the pack. I still think they're mediocre at best. It's a very hard division that they're in, but I'm gonna say they're mediocre at best. There's not much more to say there. I don't think Jimmy G. To me, it's McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is the problem there. Green Bay Packers. They don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore, and they're hoping and praying Jordan Love can be the guy. Jordan, it's the history, right? Aaron Rodgers, 3 years behind Brett Favre. Second year, he goes to the Super Bowl. Obviously, second year starting, goes to the Super Bowl. First year, he did all right. Now you got Jordan Love, 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is gone. So that means next year the Packers will win the Super Bowl. But right now, I'm going to say they just missed the playoffs. I think they're competitive. I think they just missed the playoffs. So it looks like to me, one of these guys needs to win the division and make the playoffs. So I need to change this right here. One of these two. Who do I think out of these two teams is going to win the division and get into the playoffs? I'm going to go Detroit. I like what Detroit did. I like the way they ended their season. Dan Campbell, get it, giddy up. The Washington Commanders, I'm going to say potential. Actually, no, I'm going to say they missed the playoffs. By the end of this, it's probably going to look like, Doug, this doesn't make any sense, but this is just off the top of my dome right now. What are they doing at quarterback? What are they doing with their team? New owner. That's my thought process right now. It's like you think of the Washington Commanders, and no offense to the fans. I'm an outside source, unbiased. I'm not in your division. I'm not a rival or anything. But I think of the Washington Commanders, and I'm like, your quarterback. And then I'm like, well, what about their defense? Defense is good, but it's like Ron Rivera, this is like his last shot, and it's just like, I think they missed the playoffs. Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to, for the first team, I'm going to put them at number 1 pick contention. And which means if they get the number 1 pick, are they going to do what they did last time with Josh Rosen? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I would love to put the Pittsburgh Steelers at young but intriguing, because they are young and they are intriguing. But your head coach is just, he constantly gets them in the right situation. And then second year with your quarterback. And so I'm going to put potential wild card. And just because of the head coach, Mike Tomlin. That's the only reason I put you guys at potential wild cards. But bringing in Joey Porter Jr. I think is fantastic. I really do like the way they had their offseason, their draft, everything. Some potential wild card. Buffalo Bills. I'm going to give you some respect, Buffalo. I'm going to give you some respect. And I'm going to put you at a contender. This is the last year you're going up there for me. The last year. Every year for the past how many years you guys have been Super Bowl contenders and you choke it away. This is it. This is for me, your last shot. Because you got the Jets, you got the Dolphins. This is it. This is going to be hard. But I'm still going to put you up there. The Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to put number 1 pick contention. I just don't have faith in who you're riding with at your quarterback. That's my thought process on that. Seattle. Geno Smith made some moves. You guys took a corner with that first pick. I'm going to go. I'm thinking of a wild card. New England Patriots. You riding with Mac Jones? I don't know why. There's no identity with the Patriots. You got Bill Belichick. That's your identity. But other than that, like, you guys had a very good defense last year, but that only helped you to a certain extent. I don't know how I feel about the Patriots, and I think that they missed the playoffs. Cleveland Browns. Can Deshaun Watson bounce back? Can Deshaun Watson brush the rust off? Because he didn't look too good last year. And obviously it has to do with him sitting out for a year. So, but can he brush that rust off and play? I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna put him here. Potential wild cards, right? These teams need to prove that their struggles last year are gone and they can continue and get into the wild card, into the playoffs. So that's why I said potential wild card. The Houston Texans, I'm going to put them young but intriguing. Their draft was very good. They got some very good players. They got the quarterback. They got the defensive player. Very, very good. Young but intriguing. I expect them to surprise a lot of people. Kansas City, obviously, they just won the Super Bowl. They've been to the Super Bowl how many times? They've won the Super Bowl how many times in the past how many years? Boom. There's your Super Bowl contenders. Or Super Bowl favorites. They kind of already been there, so it's like going back. It is what it is. Dallas Cowboys lost a bunch of talent. You brought back Pollard, but you lose Zeke. Dak is Dak. He has good games, and then he has horrible games. You still have your wide receivers and CD. You don't have your tight end. And Mike McCarthy just loves to shoot himself in the foot. You're a hard division. I'm going to put you with potential wild card. You're in a hard division. You're in a very hard division. The LA Chargers. You got a very good young quarterback in Justin Herbert, but obviously that doesn't mean hot garbage. He puts up very good numbers. He obviously broke records his rookie year, offensive rookie of the year, but equated to nothing. It equates to all those numbers and shiny stats and all that stuff equates to nothing. Then they get into the playoffs and they just choke hard. Again, you're in a very good division. Very good division. I'm going to say you're a playoff team. We're going to go back and look at this. New York Jets added Aaron Rodgers. Last year, their quarterback situation was hot garbage. They lost some games because of their quarterback situation. But also, let's not look past the fact that they won a few games because of the opposing quarterback situation. So things might change. But I will say this. I will say that they are a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers in there. The Carolina Panthers, very competitive. Again, that South division, that NFC South division, was very competitive down the stretch. That's why I have them missing the playoffs. Then I have number one pick, so hot garbage, just missing the playoffs. And then I have making the playoffs. And I think I have them winning the division. I'm going to put young but intriguing here. I want to see what they do with young but intriguing. Then we have the Tennessee Titans running. One more time, running. With Ryan Tannehill? Will Levis? Who's your quarterback? Riddle me this, Batman. I'm going to say mediocre at best. I don't think they did enough to really turn the ship. You still have Derrick Henry, but it's like, that's my reaction. What up besides that? Indianapolis Colts. Got Anderson. You got the Florida quarterback. And if he's not from Florida, I'm going to get flamed in the comment section. Got yourself a head coach. You're not running with Jeff Saturday. I'm going to say potential wild card. But now I'm going to say the AFC is just so hard. Pause. It is. Because look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You already got 7 teams in the playoffs. Because I'm about to put Jacksonville up here. You know what? I'm going to put potential wild card. I think the AFC got a lot better. And if the Jets didn't add Aaron Rodgers, I would have them switched. Because I think that even with the Jets defense, they'd have a chance. Say they got Jimmy Garoppolo or Ryan Tannehill or any type of... I know they're going to stick with Zach Wilson, but I'd have them switched. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you got like 7, 8 possibly. You know what then? Because I want to make it even, right? Playoff teams. 1. Who's Super Bowl contenders in the NFC? That's the hard thing for me, is who's Super Bowl contenders? Besides the Eagles, it's like you look at the NFC and you're like, can you stamp a Super Bowl contender? I could stamp, like I said, 2 Super Bowl contenders. The Super Bowl favorites, you know. I'm not putting Buffalo up in Super Bowl favorites. I'm not putting Cincy up in Super Bowl favorites. And to me, no one else is in the playoff section is a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. No. Or contenders to go to the Super Bowl. No one has proved that they are contention for the Super Bowl. None of these playoff teams. None of the potential wild cards. I think I did pretty well. What do you guys think? If anything, I'd probably take Chicago and throw them up here too, as make them a wild card team. But they're going from first overall pick. They need to prove it. Again, I'm gonna do this again before the season starts. But comment below. One last look. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Let me know what you think of my tier list. Post-draft NFL tier list. Comment below. If you think I slighted your team, let me know. If you think, hey, it's pretty fair, let me know. This was harder than I thought it would be. Some of these teams they have no identity. Washington, New England, Indy. To me, again, an unbiased person, you're looking out at it and you're just like, that's why I have them just missing the playoffs. I don't know. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. My friends up.